Welcome back, duelists. Today is a special one because we are going to evolve the meta. Mutant is a unique TCG exclusive archetype that was released some years ago and never took off. And I think it's a bit criminal because the time it came out in was COVID. So there weren't really events for it to be played in, as well as the deck's best synergistic counterpart was just not legal. So I'm going to show you guys why Mutant can be made meta. Now, Mutant isn't the only old and forgotten deck that I can show you guys has more power than it may seem. Let me know what other decks you want me to evolve in the comment section below, where I promise and I've proven I read constantly to see which topics are really worth taking a look at next. I got some cool ones planned, so stay tuned because we're going to make everything meta at some point. So there's one core mechanic we have to pay attention to. This deck really does focus on evolving, or mutating if you will. We're going to have 3 little baby mutant monsters that will mutate into 3 bigger monsters. The babies work by attributing themselves and then banishing a card from the hand, field, or deck, depending on the card. And then, based off the type of card you banished off of your baby mutant, either a monster, spell, or trap, you summon the corresponding big mutant from your hand or deck. And you can see how Thunder Dragon fits in there because you're going to be banishing them from the hand via your effects of your baby mutant monsters. First up, we got Mutant M05, a level 2 water psychic monster with 0 attack, 100 defense. On summon, this card can add 1 mutant monster next to your hand. Stratos. Stratos is never a bad thing, always positive. And until recently, this deck had no good monsters to search off of this card, and that's where the newer support of one of the other babies, Mutant, will come in handy. We'll get to that shortly. Then, separately, you contribute this card and banish a card from your hand or face of field to summon a monster from your hand or deck based on the card you banished. So if you banish your mutant monster, you get Mutant Beast, Spell gets you Mutant Mist, and Trap gets you Mutant Arsenal. I'll talk about those later. Note that this same correlation exists for all of them, so I'm going to skip over this part for the future ones. Mutant M05's counterpart, though, is ST46. Now, these 2 cards were the 2 original baby mutants that were in Phantom Rage, the initial release wave for this deck. This one, on summon, instead of adding a monster, will add a spell or trap next to your hand. Now, this one is level 3, so it's a little bit different in terms of typing, whatever, but not a huge deal. On a side note, though, it's important to note that M05, when it searches monsters, is level 2, meaning if you play Teleport, you can special summon it and add a mutant from deck to hand in Sprite decks and then extend that way. But then, just like your M05, ST46 can contribute itself to banish a card from your hand or face of field special, the corresponding mutant monster. Because this is the last one, Mutant. And I said how one of the mutants can banish a guy from the deck. This is the one. Mutant says you control a mutant card, so not just monster, any mutant card. You special summon this card from your hand. Cool. So you have an extender. And you see how that teleport play kind of lines up in other decks as well. When you want teleport to convert into 2 bodies, especially when you want one to be level 2, it does as well. Furthermore, Mutant can contribute itself to banish a mutant card from your hand or your deck, especially the corresponding mutant monster from your deck or hand. And then you lose life points equal to summon monster's attack. Now, that losing life points equal to summon monster's attack is actually important. There are a lot of cards where you want to have lower life points in order to work, such as Gold Pride cards. And there's not actually that many cards that conveniently set up your life points paying. So while Thunder Dragon Mutant is one synergy I'm looking at now, if you want to see more ways of playing Mutant, let me know, because there are. And one that can be explored is Gold Pride Mutant. But yes, this is going to just summon itself in the hand. You can use as link fodder or then convert without investing another card into your big mutants. Now, obviously, it's not great that you have to banish 2 cards to upgrade. That is a neg 1, and it's specifically bad into cards like Ash, which is why you want synergistic banishes like Thunder Dragon cards to offset the cost of banishing good cards. Mutant being the one that doesn't require you to banish from your hand or field, making it not so gross. What are the big mutants? Well, first up, Mutant Mist, the one that requires you to banish a spell card. Don't play it, it's unplayable. Ignore it for now. That means that whenever we banish a spell, well, we can't. We're not doing that. But that's okay, because the other 2 are much better. Now, the best one in this deck is Mutant Beast. It is a level 8, 2400 monster that cannot be targeted by monster effects. And then once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell, card, or effect, you can banish any card from your hand or field to negate the activation and then banish that card. So this will be a nice spell negate for cards like Talents, Call By, Teleport. I said Teleport, only my deck plays Teleport. Now, banishing a card from your hand or field isn't great, but again, that's why you really have to focus on generating free cards that support your banishing, because this is where the deck has primarily seemed weak. It's when you have this kind of load of restrictions on card resources. And then lastly, if Beast is destroyed by your opponent's card, you can target one of your banished mutant traps and add to your hand. So this is kind of like the circle of mutants, where you summon this off of banishing a monster, but it negates spells and it adds back traps. That makes sense. It's not like the next one negates. Mutant Arsenal, the next one, which requires a trap card, doesn't do exactly that. For example, this one can't be targeted by traps. It's bigger, it's 3k, which is important. It actually is pretty large. And then, importantly, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, banish a card from your hand or field. Then instead of negating, you target a monster in the field and you banish it. And then if this one's destroyed, you can target one of your banished mutant spells and add to your hand. So you can argue a negate may be better, and truthfully, it depends on the format, but banishing a card or monster is pretty solid. So those are your two main disruptions. And that makes up the core of the mutant strategy. There are 3 support spell and trap cards that I play. So first up is Mutant Evolution Lab. This card is kind of shit, I'm not gonna lie. I play 3 of this card because you kind of need it. But this card is not a good field spell by modern standards. It reads when you activate, you can special one of your banished or from your hand mutant monsters. It's level 4 or lower. It's, I wish it could summon from somewhere else, or I wish it added from deck to hand, because the problem is it's meta extension that requires setup. And the problem is when you're tributing a mutant monster off the field for its effect, it means it goes to the graveyard. It doesn't banish both. It tributes, then banishes, which is good for some other synergies in the deck, but it means this card kind of blows. However, this card helps in some combos, like it combos well with Mutant Mutant. It can be an extender in some states. It can unbrick you in some game states. And then importantly as well, after you use it, it's a card on field, and you can banish your mutant effects. Now, I don't play Mutant Mist to summon from the deck by banishing this off the field for Baby Mutant. You can still banish this off the field as the activation requirement for Arsenal or Beast, the negate or the banish. And that is good. So that is why it is a necessity, I think, unfortunately. It has other effects, but they're not much better. Your mutant monsters can 100 attack for each of your banished mutant cards, different names. And then lastly, during your main phase, you can place a mutant from your hand on the bottom of your deck and draw a card. I mean, you do use that effect, but it's just not that impressive. So you can only activate 1 Mutant Evolution Lab per turn. It's... I have a weird relationship with this card because I really don't think it's that good, but I think it's unfortunately needed. This deck would be a lot better if it had a good field spell or a good continuous spell, because this card kind of blows, but it is a requirement. And next up, we got the Fusion Spell and Fusion Trap. Now, to understand those, let's first go over the fusion monsters. Now, their boss monster, Mutant Ultimus, is actually the one I think is less important, but we'll go over it first. It requires 3 level 8 or higher mutant monsters, so this is all your big mutants. When a card or effect is activated, you can banish a mutant card from your hand, face of field, or importantly, the graveyard as well for this one, of the same card type. So either monster spell or trap, negate the activation and banish that card. So it's like Beast, when it can use the grave, and it can also hit anything, not just spells. That effect, however, is once per turn, which is important. So while it'd be nice to have like some super uber omni negate thing, no, this is just once per turn omni negate. As far as boss monsters goes that aren't really that easy to summon, it's just okay. And then if this card is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can add the 3 of your banished mutants, at least 1 of each card type, spell, monster, trap, from banish your hand. And that's fine, but yeah, it really is just a combination of your 3 big guys in one. Now, the one that I actually think is better because it's easier to summon and its effect is still pretty good is Mutant Synthesis. It requires 2 mutants with different attributes. This is why the attribute things matter. So it means you can't fuse 2 babies together. You have to fuse a baby and a big one, or 2 big ones, but usually it's a baby and a big one. And then this card's fusion summon, you target a card of the field and destroy it. It's simple. And because when the fusion hardens is a trap, it means you can do this on your opponent's turn. And you can do this as disruption, and that's pretty cool. And the other effects aren't bad either. And that is, firstly, when your opponent uses a card or effect, you can chain this, and then for the rest of the turn, this card's unaffected by cards of the same type. Monster, spell, trap. So say your opponent chains Effect Veiler and Permanence. You can chain this card in response, and then the Veiler or Imperm would be null and void. So you actually bypass a lot of things this way, and that's pretty sick. And lastly, if it is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can target one of your banished mutant cards and get it back to your hand. So it's some floating as well. This card is fantastic. I think this is such great value. And this is the card I actually focus on when I fusion summon instead of Ultimus. But let's get to the fusion cards. First up is Mutant Fusion. So this card is kind of meshed off fusion, but it's searchable, so we still play one of it. Let's fusion summon a mutant fusion from your extra deck by banishing the materials listed on it from your hand or field. But if your opponent has used an effect this turn, you can use up to 1 monster from your deck and graveyard as fusion material. So because I don't play 3 big guys, summoning Ultimus is not that easy for this. And most of the time, instead of using this as an extender to break through fields, to summon Synthesis to pop a card. That's more than fine. It means that I'm not really using this as a turn 1 extender through hand traps very often. And I don't think that's a problem because it's kind of hard to do that anyways. Negging your entire hand into Ultimus on turn 1 for 1 negate, it's not very good. Last, you got Mutant Cry. This one I actually think is better. It is just a trap card, so we can use in the opponent's turn. I played 2 copies of this card. Now, when I play 2 ofs, I always have a specific reason why. So the reason I play 2 of this card is I want to be able to search 1 off of your ST46. But furthermore, I want to make sure that I then have 1 left in the deck that I can banish from Mutant to access Mutant Arsenal. I need to be able to search 1 and banish 1, and that's why 2 are in my deck. But pressing forward, you can fusion summon a mutant monster from your extra deck by shuffling back the materials from your grave, field, or banished. It's actually extremely convenient. Only use 1 per turn, but that's okay. So, very simplistic card. Idea here is simple. You recycle your resources, and importantly, you recycle your bank mutants, because those will leave the field very fast. But you can oftentimes pump out both of them on turn 1, and then you get to put them back, and then you get the pop out of it. So, good card. It's parallel world fusion if you know heroes, but that's it. And with that said, you're now a mutant expert. That's all mutant cards I play, and hopefully that'll make sense as we see the deck list. Okay, so this is the deck, and the idea here is simple. We're playing a Thunder Dragon package that's not small, but it's not huge either. Now, the only Thunder Dragon card I want are cards that get effects when they're banished and they're meaningful. Thunder Dragon Matrix adding another copy of itself is not something I actually want when it gets banished, so I don't play it. Instead, I only play Dark and Roar as good banishes, and then I can search Hawk and get into Colossus, as well as they provide extension to make other Link plays. I don't think I need to play Thunder Dragon Fusion, as the cycle of Roar, add back Hawk should be more than enough to keep pumping up Colossuses, and or it's Colossalus, and it's Colossi, right? It's like Colossi of Memnon is what it's supposed to be in the real life. That's the plural for Colossus. I'm overthinking this. Either way, you spam multiple Colossi, and your opponent's dead because Colossus is broken. The card is nuts. Gold Sark obviously complements that well, but you can use it with the mutant side of the deck where you open up Gold Sark plus Mutant Evolution Lab. That works. Obviously, it feels kind of gross because Gold Sark on Thunder cards are just so much better, but you can access both engines via Gold Sark. Say you have 2 Sarks or your hand demands it. But yeah, the rest of it looks pretty solid, and now I'm ready to mutate. All right. I have Lost Throw up against our Carbunculus friend here, BSC, and looking solid. I got a lot of going second options. I got some good starters. This is a great hand. I'm feeling good about this. Obviously, it'll depend on what they do, but off to a good start. Rest is up to them. Lordy load. Do I want to ash this? Yeah, it's a drill beam rotation. How bad does it affect my hand? Pretty bad. I think this is a relatively safe Ash Blossom. The only thing that you want to ash in Blue Eyes more is White Destiny. Not White Destiny. Why do I call it that? What is it called? Why am I blanking? Wishes. That's what it's called. No guarantee they'll get to it. Whereas the Primite cards are so good. This will keep them off of Blue Eyes being crazy, or it'll give me 2 draws at least if they go for like Spirit. So I think it's worth it. I think it's all worth it. And then if they want to go for Majesty off of Wishes as well, they're going to have to give me a draw. They do have Wishes, unfortunately. If they're going to still have Drill Beam, then it will suck that I went for this play. But I think in the end it'll pan out. Now, they discarded Dominus Purge, which is scary, because that means their hand is brutally good, or they have multiple Purges. I'm going to hope it's multiple Purges, because their hand would have to be scary, scary good for them to choose, or choose something else over Purge. All right, so I'm going to Full Loss and Resolution so they can't go into the Link 1. If they pass here, that's fine. My hand is good enough. And because they didn't search the trap off of Wishes, they would essentially have no live cards here. I guess they could still access the trap off of True Light, which they're going to get here. But the point is that between all of that, it end on no interrupt, because even Majesty is not going to do anything when they have no Blue Eyes. If Blue Eyes is the last card in their hand, that would make no sense, because they would have discarded off Wishes, like, certainly. Not last card. They should have 2 unknowns, right? It should be Roar and... It's just Roars, I know. So 2 unknowns. Summon Blue Eyes. I don't expect from hand again. Yeah, so summoning here, draw. Cool. Roar is fine. Thunder Access is never a bad thing. It's body selling Quith as well. I don't think they'll Synchro here. They're going to equip. Okay. They might go for Spirit Dragon. I don't know if I agree with it. It's not the worst thing in the world. I do agree with this, though. The equip. Not the equip. The summon from deck. To turn on Majesty. They might already have Majesty given this, though, because now they have no space left. Now, I'm sure they're debating if they want to Synchro. If they don't have Majesty face down, they blundered, obviously, by filling up their back row. And now they're thinking, damn, I have to go Spirit to unlock myself. They give me the draw. If that's the case, and they do need the Majesty still, then I would give me the draw for sure for Spirit. I'm going to turn Toggle on for now, because there's a chance I'm going to have to teleport in the draw phase. So the Extravagance goes through first. Okay, so give me the draw. Cool. Yeah, I'm probably gonna teleport in the draw phase here, if anything. Drawing mutant. Not too shabby. Oh. I'm going for second spirit? Okay, that's... This I don't agree with. Okay, I mean, now there's no hand traps face down. What are those back row? Unless they really want the second pop-off Majesty here, but... That doesn't make sense to me. They could have summoned it from the grave, or held it in hand, it would have been better. They wanted the second pop. Second mutant's not too helpful, obviously. Evolution Lab, sure. I'm gonna fire this off straight away. What do I want off this? Honestly, nothing screams too broken. Probably MO5, get ST46. With some more normal summons, the higher chance of the roar resolving. I want this to get purged though, in truth, that way extra av resolves, so I can draw into talents. Or any other breakers. Effects. And we'll see if we're able to let that rock. Getting a trap wouldn't be the worst either, because then... no, I'm never using Arsenal, right? Arsenal's so finicky. What do they do? Oh, they already had Drill Beam. God damn it, that's why they did this. Yeah, I should have realized they already had Drill Beam, given the way this went. That's fine. Alright, Extrav. So I know there's Majesty face down. Banishing 6. Banishing... Nothing too relevant, truthfully. One Synthesis I'll be careful of. Fua will get me a draw off of this, but he can just chain it. I will get this monster, the Graveyard Effect negate out of the way, which does that matter against me? It does for Roar, so I may as well drop this. The discard isn't going to do anything. Actually, I mean, you can banish it for your mutant effect, so it's not nothing, but I have enough dead cards in my hand that I don't think that'll be a problem. Okay, so you decided to value the monster negate over anything else. I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to let this rip. Just go for Mist straight away. I could go after the True Light here, which would force the Omni negate and some follow-up. That might be solid. Or I could snipe the Majesty, and then he wouldn't have a good way to respond either. Majesty's really good against my deck. What links do I have left? I have SP left. I do. Axe Code is also left, which is important. Dark is left. Does that matter? No. I think I go after the Majesty. I'm going to keep the Beast in hand. I'll keep the Beast available to me, I think. That way I can banish the Ward in my hand. Infuse from hand, one of the mutants away. It feels a little wrong, but I ultimately think it is correct. So let's use the effect, and let's pop the Majesty here. I should have checked that was Majesty, but I'm pretty sure that one was Majesty. No one reads. My favorite. Yeah, that in fact does not work against this card. I can chain it and it becomes immune to trap effects. This does mean he can chain Majesty though, and the Majesty will resolve, but I'll be unaffected by trap cards. Yeah. So that trades for his last back row. I guess he decided that he'd rather have... No, he should have chained the Majesty, because I probably would have chained Synthesis either way. Would I have? I wouldn't have faced with that option. I hadn't decided what I would have done. Play around Imperm or not. But he gives himself a chance to play around me. I'd add a banished mutant card to my hand. I forgot, can this card summon from the hand? Oh, it can. Actually, that's based. Oh, he's going to negate this, though. That doesn't actually matter. That's what I was originally thinking. This is going to get the negate. Okay, so now his only disruption left is going to be the Spirit Dragon that will eventually come off this. I will get a draw, though, when that happens, though, which is nice. Yeah, summon this. And let's agitate the hand. What do I want to add off this? It's just Cry, certainly, right? Nothing else matters. Can I get to an Axis Code Talker? Probably, right? 1, 2... I have plenty of bodies. It is a little neg, but... Yeah, okay. Summoning out their negates. Okay. We're going to draw off this, so we draw. I'm an idiot. Every time I've made fun of somebody in a video for doing exactly what I did, I am sorry. Those who don't know what has happened. Pot of Extravagance says you can't draw the turn you use it. Me using Fua off of the Extravagance is like one of the dumbest things you can do. And this is supposed to be a video that helps players. I'm sorry. Trust me, there's still information you can learn. I'm prone to mistakes. That was a bad one because that's nothing related to a new deck either. I should know that. That's rough. That is very rough. Where do I go from here? Evolution Lab. Right? Fine. Yeah. Alright. I don't think this will get negated. What's the best way to force this out? I can't target it because of what's it called? Engrave. I guess this is the one I bring back, right? I don't play Cross Sheep, but this is where Cross Sheep would be good. I can't target it because of the Neos Engrave. And which one do I want to go with? I'm gonna go with. I mean, it has to be this one, right? Yeah. Banish the Thunder Dragon Roar in hand. I can negate this. I don't have any attributes in my grave. I really wish I had, or my extra deck. I wish I had other attributes to banish for Access Code Talker, which may have been an oversight when building this extra deck out. May have been an oversight. Special from deck now. Yes, indeed, yes. I gotta speed up a little bit. I'm running a little low on time. There's a toggle here. What toggle do I have? It should be nothing. I don't want to summon off deck off this, right? I don't need to do that. Also, I want Ultimus. You conceded? No! I guess I saw the writing on the wall. Blue Eyes was going down. Mutants were the key to success. All right. I have lost the roll up against our Rescue Rabbit friend here, but they actually made a start, so that screams Tempai. Unfortunately, I don't have any Thunder Dragon cards to abuse Tempai or Sky Striker. Double Call By is great, though. I'm not going to argue otherwise for that. And I will happily Call By this because I have a second one locked and loaded if need be. Resolves sec. So, now where do I go from here? I mean, I only really have one course of action, so let's get rolling. ST46, effect to search. Ash Blossom on this. Do I want to Call By this? I don't know how much I really care is the actual truth of the matter with this. Call By might better be used as a defensive option. Now where do I go with mutants? Do I go for Beast or do I go for what's it called? Arsenal. But this is why parts of me wants to Call By this, because I can get better follow-up if I go for Beast. Because if I get the Evolution Lab, I can end on Elf, which gives me better follow-up. In theory, is better follow-up. It gets me MO5. I get a search, get a draw. Yeah, I'm going to Call By this. Call By is a good defensive card, but I think I'm happy Call Bying the Ash here. And if I draw into a Thunder card, will I be able to summon it? No, I'll be out. But that's fine. So hopefully no hand traps left. Wait, they're on a 60 card deck. What the frick? Okay, I should have paid attention to that first. That should have been the first thing I did. But I'm already committed. Alright, so let's summon out our Mutant. And let's have Ash. Oh, Mourner. Yuck. I contribute this, banish this, get Beast and Arsenal on the field. That's probably what I do. I wish I could get 2 Beasts out, but I don't think I can. But he has 2 cards left, so it's fine. Let's banish the mutant from field. That way I can bring it back off this. And it resets. Hit 0 attack, no damage. Yeah. And then I'm going to Mutant Cry. And bring back Mutant. Special on the monster. Yes. So this does leave me without follow-up. So it's a little bit sketchier than I would have liked, truthfully. But with no cards left, I'm hoping this is fine. Banish from deck. If I banish from hand, it'd be really bad. And yeah. Alright. I got some decent stats up here. We got 56. Like, that's 2 turn clock. I mean, it's a 1 turn clock with Cry. No, it's not. This is not enough. It's 26 plus 25, 51. Oh, it is, right? Yeah, no, it is a 1 turn clock. Okay. Imperm can deal with either of these. Okay, go for the Spell Negate. That is very scary. I may get grassed, and there's nothing I can do about it. Oh god. Please don't grass. Please don't grass. Please don't have like... Wait, what the... Irish Swordsoul is not what I expected, though. What the hell am I playing against? Mod Special. This is some bullshit hand trap. It just makes Baron. I can beat Baron. That's fine. I should toggle on for summon, right? What does this do? I summon from the extra deck? Destroy one of the special monsters. I probably should have just synthesis there. Whatever. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Shenyang. Oh. I really should have popped it sooner. Wait, no, this banishes, right? No, but he gets protect from destruction. Huh. How does he banish a card? He can't. So he has to just attack and pass? No, don't DC. Okay. Alright. I really wish I just popped. I'm so... Ugh, I should have thought it through. Alright, yeah, you attacked the right one, so I don't get to add back anything, unfortunately. In phase 2, end turn. I can SP this, but then I have nothing left myself. Draw. Hawk. Hawk. I have no Thunder cards, so it does not help. Unless I want to crash this to add back. It has to be destroyed, right? I can't just tribute it or link it away. Destroyed by its opponent's card, yeah. SP. Is it really just SP pass? I feel so bad. I think I just wait. There's no way make SP is correct. It uses every card I have, and if he draws like a Bestial, I start losing a grind game. I want to save it for something better. And if he attacks this, then I get a card back, which is good. Yeah, so I get to add back now. Grab back Cry for free. And if he sets, I can pop a card he sets, so that's like fine. He summons, I can pop as well. But okay, he's playing a hand trap deck, and he put all hand traps in. Like, how many? You think he plays Judgment? Maybe I should do this because he plays Judgment. This would require me to top deck now something playable, but hopefully I can draw something playable. There really shouldn't be that much of an ask. I probably want to put this back, and then this is a better draw, so yeah, cool. So if I draw a normal summon monster, at least I can SP there. And then I have a Cry for next turn. So it's the same position, but slightly better. If I draw a Thunder Dragon card, that's also fine, because I can go Colossus spam. Alright, it wasn't a real hand trap, but... It wasn't a Judgment, but... I was scared of Judgment. That's, like, actually low-key concerning. I don't know what he filled out a 60-card deck with. I did draw Roar. Okay, it's not really what I wanted, but it's fine. So I have to crash. Which will mean taking some damage, but it's okay. Alright, battle phase, attack. And then from the deck, special summon. Colossus versus Shenyang. Who wins? I imagine Colossus, the ultimate Thunder Dragon. Hawk, bring back Roar. So I can make Colossus and then SP this, or I can just make Colossus pass. And I'm inclined to just make Colossus pass, then SP next turn, because he's the deck that has no ceiling. I can wait, and I'm chilling. If I burn all my resources into a top deck war, I'm the one who has nothing. He'll top deck hand traps with a big beater, and I'll eventually lose. Or if he draws like a Magnamut or a Fiendsmith card. If I just leave Colossus on field, he can't do shit. So 2 Colossus on field, right? Oh wait, no. But if he attacks, just during the damage step, except during the damage step. Okay, so except during the damage step means if he attacks Colossus, I can protect with Colossus' effect to prevent from destruction, banishing a Thunder from the grave. And because it doesn't work in the damage step, Shenyang's effects, then I will be safe from the banish. So I can do this. I can pass. The next turn, Roar can have back Hawk. Then I make SP. And I have SP plus Colossus, and I'm good. And I'm also going to have it backed up with the Synthesis, pop via Cry. So I should be extremely safe from this point. Yeah, I think this was the full lock. I got this now. All right, he's going to find out this does not work. I'm going to protect. I'm going to banish the Dark. It will give me an extra search as well, so this was not a good choice for him. I may as well get a free search off here, get the 3rd Roar out of the way, so I don't draw it again. And then I can always shuffle back with Hawk if he keeps crashing. We'll see a Wounds trigger here. If it triggers, then I can't read. Nope, cool. As predicted. End phase. Nice. And we should be good to go. Draw. Mutant. That should be game. But I'm going to play without it for now first. Grab back the Hawk. And this will get back the Dark. The Dark won't be able to search anything, but at this point in the game, that's fine. So, cool. Let's grab back this. And then SP. Chenying shall be no more. And if he has Veil or anything, I can tag out with the Colossus to dodge it. So that's not going to be a threat either. There shouldn't be a card that stops this as far as I can understand. If there is, then it's news to me. Sarvis, actually. Ghost Ogre does not stop it. I can dodge with the SP. This doesn't stop it anyways. I may as well savor the SP for next turn. I'm not going to be able to attack anyways, so like I need the damage output on Colossus. Obviously, if I tag out Banish his Chenying, that's bad. It would come back. That's probably what they're banking on, but no. Now I'm chilling. M05 to add, and they just left. Because then we get to search for the Beast. We're gonna have a Spell Trap Negate. We're gonna have the Pop. We're gonna have Colossus. We're gonna have SP. I get a new draw at some point as well off of Evolution Labs. So very soft game state for us. And Thunder cards. That's where it's at. All right, I've won the roll up against Dead Man's Hand, and our hand looks good. Maxi will be a problem, but outside of Maxi, this hand is great. Now, what do I want to start off with, ST or MO5? Is there one that's better to start with in this position? I have both names. I can special one from hand. Is there? I mean, it feels negative to do that, but fine. I'm not going to start with a special summon though. That's stupid to Maxi. I got Maxied. Which one is better to have? Probably Cry. So I'm going to start with ST46, play around that. And then if I get Imprimed on this, then I have extension still, so it's fine. Okay, that resolved. There were no toggles there, so I should be free to go. I'm going to grab Cry, as I mentioned. Either way, it's only I already have. And then, yep, let's summon out our dudes. Banishing, Thunder Dragon, Roar. Special Link Dark, or Special Beast first, and then, yep, so Beast will go here. Beast is untargetable, which is cool, so I don't have to protect it with Elf if I decide to go for Elf, which I probably will. Elf is really good in this deck. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a neg play here, special summoning from hand, but it's fine. It is still all good. Wait, I can't do the Elf setup because no, I can. This is the Elf setup. This is the Elf setup. I'm tripping. So you have a weird option with this deck. Thunder Dragon Elf is actually a Thunder, so I can go over 2 Colossuses with the Elf, or I can leave the Elf up and to have untargetable Colossus. And honestly, both are really good. And that's sick. That Hawk. Now I can make IP with this, or I can go for Mutant Arsenal. And that's going to be kind of a question I have to deal with in a second. May as well bring this back first. I don't know what I'm checking for. I'm pretty sure I've already played Intinib at this point. This deck... Oh. Why wouldn't you Bell Hawk? I guess they just don't know what my deck does. That's a very large portion of the player base. Because that actually negates the activation. It would stop me from making Colossus altogether, which would be kind of nuts. 1 Colossus should probably suffice. Let's summon this out now. And then... he saw the Colossus coming and said, I'm out. And that's the reality of a lot of these games that go first. I don't want to sit here and say, look at these cool games I have for you. Because the reality is, when you're summoning Colossus on your turn 1, players can't play. They just leave. All right. I have won the role in our rank up game. And our hand looks solid. Hawk, not the best card, but that's fine. I have Ash Maxi and a starter, so that's really all I can ask for in theory. And Extrav, so I'm not saying anything yet. I'm chilling. Draw 2, resolves. Fantastic. Obviously, you don't need 2 Maxis, but this is still great. I can use the Roar. As long as it doesn't get like Gambit or some shit. This is funny where you banish your card as cost. It's bad into Ash in theory, but oh, come on! Alright, well, I don't get to show you guys the rank up game. Also, side note, why do I have 2 people concede against effing mutants when I start? Let me play the game. It's mutants! All right, fortunate enough to win the roll again, and hand here is worse, but it's still fine. ST46 with Thunder cards. I'm good to go. 60 card deck. Colossus is very good versus these decks. As someone who's played a lot of 60, whether it be branded or tier. Though we're missing so much random 60 card junk that's not even like a combo deck on ladder that you never know. I could get Veiler here, and I'd be like, what the hell? Who puts Veiler in 60? It could be like a Veiler 60 card Blue Eyes deck. All right, Ash is better for me because I can still use the other effect. I can still use the other effect either way, but this is better. So obviously, I'm going to banish Dark off this because if I banish Roar, I have to link off the Dark somehow, and I'd rather not get rid of my my Beast. It is a free card. Because Spell Negate. Where 60 card Spell Negates are actually better than Monster Negates in a lot of cases. To stop power cards like Talents, Grass, Branded Fusion, King Sark, Left Arm Offering. All powerful cards I like to stop. It can't, however, stop Droplet, assuming he ditches a monster, and that's one of the best ways to out Colossus. I don't have the best defense for it right now. It's my only concern here. And my Fool Loss in hand is obviously not helpful. And I did not need to banish it off another effect. May end up serving as fodder for Beast with the second Thunder Dragon in hand. I doubt that's how it'll end up. Actually, maybe I just use Roar now. Yeah, I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna have back the Hawk for next turn. That way I can Hawk back Roar. Then Roar Colossus, Special Dark, make 2 Colossus. And it's more pressure for next turn. And then instead of banishing the Thunder Dragon off my hand, I'll banish Fool Loss. It gives more in front of my opponent, but it sets up more powerful guaranteed where there's no guarantee it does the other way around. And versus a 60 card deck, I value more power in the clapback because he can set up. I need to be applying pressure. You can't let these high ceiling combo decks live that long. Foolish. Is this bait? Is this not bait? This is like Primal Tail. I'm gonna let this resolve. I don't know what this does that's that impactful. Sending Saronir. Okay, so it does look to be branded. I can negate Branded Fusion itself then. Ironically, the way of bypassing Colossus no add is to send it to grave and then add back with sword here. There's the grass. So that's what you're looking to negate. I could argue actually still holding the negate for Branded Fusion. This would mill 17 cards. I'm not a gambling man, however, and if he does have, or if he mills like a snow, then I just lose. So I'm going to do this here because he needs Albion on hand to extend past this. And if he wanted this to resolve, he would have grassed first, I think. I'm going to banish the Fool Loss, as I said. I don't think this being on field for targeting matters too much. And now we wait. Can't Aliber. Can't Tragedy. They are playing 60 cards, so I don't think my play was wrong, unfortunately. That is unfortunate. Unfortunately unfortunate. He's got me saying buffoonery words now. I really don't think I'm it. True. True. They know the last card of my hand. This is BM. They know it's Hawk. Oh, damn. So close to going 5-0 with Mutants. Even though 2 of those were people conceding we went first. This hand was disgusting. What the hell? And it's like they can't thrust against you. They can only hard draw things versus Colossus. This was gross. This was so gross. I have a pop-off Mutant Synthesis still, and that's all I have. But removal versus branded is pretty bad. You pretty much only want to have negation versus this deck. The general rule of thumb. Obviously, I didn't know it was branded. It could have been other stuff. I mean, negation is better in general. That being said, what could I have done to get more negation? Nothing. I can't get to ultimates. I got ashed on ST46. So that's my plays were pretty much made for me. If I had Special Dark, if I banished Roar Special Dark instead and made a Link 2, I could have made IP plus Colossus, but that would have given up a Spell Negate, and Spell Negate was good, and it was good here. I beat Grass. I just couldn't have beat the rest of this. I'm talking like it's over. Probably because I think it is, but there is a chance that my opponent messes up here. It's just a follow-up is gone, and they're going to have follow-up and a full board clear here, which is very bad news for us. They're going to banish a card. I imagine they're going to banish the Beast. I mean, the Colossus. They don't manage Colossus, we have hope, but there's no way they leave Colossus up. Yeah. I mean, only an idiot would leave it up. Oh, man. You know, I said, like, yeah, I don't blame them conceding Colossus is broken. And it is. But I'd be damned if that's not, like, a near perfect hand. That's searching a trap. Like, that's how bad it is. They can search a spell. And they're like, nah, I got this. Search a trap. Edit the hand. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do to this? I'm like, I can pop this here. And then this already uses its effects, but I have to fuse this off the field. I have no follow-up. I guess I add back off this, but... Or was it summoner add back? I can't recall. It adds a it adds a banished mutant card, right? It doesn't... Yeah. Nothing. It does nothing. Worthless. Don't know. This is dire. And then this special summons, this searches, and duplication. Yeah, he's gonna have like 4 or 5 interrupts into my 1 card. He will play it out, obviously. Has no reason not to, but I may as well concede. I'm not, because it's a YouTube video, and I guess I may as well, but I have a feeling that it's over. I mean, not a feeling. I know that it's over. I mean, they played well for what it's worth. There wasn't like a thing they did wrong, and they just had a crazy hand. I guess, like, maybe it's not supposed to ash the ST46 that I had, or MO5. Which one did I have? I cannot tell the difference between those two. I still don't know which one's MO5, which one's ST46. And I'm pretty sure they're color coordinated too. And I'm just a dumb. I'm pretty sure that was MO5 because it was like purplish. Ironic and very fitting end against Branded. I draw Ash off the top. 1 turn too late. If this was the Fuvalos, I still would have lost because they would have gone Talent Steel. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. It's never mattered. Nothing really mattered. Da 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 da. Let's make the win rate even worse than Typhon. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. Alright, and with that, I'll bid y'all adieu. Well, the opponents. I got an outro for you guys, don't worry. Alright, so that was Mutants. And did manage to go 4-1 with the deck, with 2 wins being kind of immediate, but I do think I would have won those games against even above average hands. It needed to be pretty like insane to beat me like that last hand did. And hopefully that kind of shows you guys. This deck has a pretty strong going first potential and some cool synergies. And while Mutants has long been laughed at as this unplayable deck from the dark ages of bad TCG exclusives, it actually works together relatively well, and the new-ish support of Mutant. But that's being said, the deck actually was functional even without this card. So, because several games we just never got to even see it, if I recall. But the deck is a lot of fun. Thunder Dragon cards are some of my favorite cards of all time, and the fact that they work very well with Mutants is a nice upside, and has a distinct feel than just playing one of the Thunder variants. So getting to play something different is awesome, and I would recommend it. You can definitely do pretty well with this. You saw I ranked up with this deck, and I play at a high level, so ranking up is pretty crazy. And if I can do it, you can do it, right? Make sure you guys give this deck a try. Also, one final thing. Obviously, at the time of recording this, Teleport is at 2. But I believe by the time this video comes out, or maybe the day after it comes out, you will have 3 copies of Illegal. So when that happens, I would likely up it to 3, as it just is nuts. But with that said, I'll see you all next time. Peace.